Hello and welcome to episode 74 of the Disney Park Princess podcast. I'm your co-host, Sara.
I'm Heather.
I'm Sharla.
I love the little waves.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I went first last week, so she had to go first this week.
We're polite to each
Keep
other.
a calendar. Yeah. So here's the deal, folks. It is currently March 4th. We are trying to pre-record this because Sharla's going to be on a Disney cruise next week, which is fantastic, and we all wish we were going with her.
I might just jump in a suitcase right now.
Yeah. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go just try to figure out a cruise at the end of this month, just to get away from here. Because if you know a travel agent, if you love a travel agent, if you are a travel agent, it's a rough week here, folks. The coronavirus scare is very real for a lot of people. It is a real thing. I don't mean to imply that's not a real thing.
Yeah.
I just mean to say that it is impacting all of us and our businesses and our work very directly. So there are lots of memes going back and forth between travel agents with large glasses of wine. There's a lot going on this week. So if you know one, if you are one, if you use one, if you love one, send them a little message, send them a little love, send them a little energy. Because
send them wine if they can
the
drink
wine.
Yeah, a case of wine would be great right now.
Or even just a cute, hey, thinking of you. Thanks for all the hard work that you do, because it's a rough week around here, folks. So all three of us are here right now. That may not be the case for the whole podcast. We'll just have to see.
If one of us dashes out, it's probably to deal with a client and coronavirus. So just, we're sorry.
So we're sorry. Thank you for your patience, but this is the reality of being a working travel agent in the age of coronavirus. So because we're pre-recording, we don't have any news other than Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway opened today, March 4th, officially. Waits
are a billion-hour waits.
Yeah, there's a billion-hour wait. Waits were 300 plus minutes, 2 seconds after opening.
Right.
But we did have a couple of our listeners who actually, I love this story. They met last week at our Disney Park Princess meet and greet. And they clicked, and they're now at the parks today as we record this, and they went on the ride together. So yeah. I love this. We're making connections here in Disney Park Princess.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going into business next as friend matchmakers. So not romantic matchmakers, but we're just gonna hook people up that we think would be good friends. So that's our next business venture. But anyway, I haven't seen much about the ride because I try to avoid spoilers before I get to ride something, but it sounds super cute.
That's fun.
I watched some videos and it looks adorable. I knew that it would. I knew if they're going to take out something that used to be the icon of the park and that is so iconic, that they would do a really good job on it. And it does look very cute.
Yeah.
Whether it's worth the wait times, I don't know. We'll find out. But I remember going to MGM Studios at the time back in the day as like a little kid, 8, 9, 10 years old. And we would wait 2 hours for the Great Movie Ride. That used to have a huge wait too. So same thing.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. So hopefully I'll get to ride it next month. So we'll see.
You're a huge Mickey fan. So I know for you, this is like big. And it's about time that Mickey had an attraction.
Right?
It's like
he has an attraction. He has PhilharMagic, and he was in what was that back in the 80s? This is his first ride, I guess.
It's his first ride.
Yeah.
So
Mickey Mouse is my favorite character, so I cannot wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And I just love anything new. So
But to answer what you said earlier, nothing is worth a 5-hour wait. It's not. No, it's not. I could do so much stuff in 5 hours.
But they have fast passes for this one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, that's you shouldn't be waiting then. You just wait till you get your fast pass.
Yeah. I know, but it's hard because what if you and so a couple of weeks ago, let's talk about this. A couple of weeks ago, we asked people to, if you don't use Park Hopper, if you're anti-Park Hopper, why? Let us know. And we only got a couple of responses, but they were very passionate responses. And they were responses that make sense to me. It's not the way I personally tour, but I get it.
Yeah.
And the consensus seemed to be like, especially with Fast Pass and with dining reservations, like if you only go once every few years and you plan your trip out really meticulously, it doesn't always leave a lot of room for park hopping. And I get that. I do. I still think that the park hopper gives you the flexibility if something goes wrong with your advance. Like all the planning and all of the fast passes and all of the dining reservations are great until a ride goes down, the weather doesn't cooperate, the crowd levels are higher than you thought. Like, I still think the park hopper is helpful, but I get why some people think that it might not be a worthwhile investment for them.
Yeah. I mean, last week, if we hadn't had it when we went and tried for Rise of the Resistance with a boarding queue of 77, then, I mean, we were lucky.
Can you
enough
even imagine how sick we would have been at Hollywood Studios if we'd been stuck there that whole day and half of the next day? I mean, we're sick of it anyway.
Yeah. So anyway.
Good. Yeah. But that's actually a really good point, Charlotte. Just for Rise of the Resistance, like just for that, the park hopper to me becomes even more mandatory. Like if you don't care about Rise of the Resistance and you're not even going to try to get on it, like, okay, fine. You want to skip the park hopper? I'm not going to argue with you. But if you tell me that Rise of the Resistance is a priority for your trip, nope, we're not even going to have a conversation about it anymore. You have to have the park hopper. You just do, period. Also, there seems to be a little bit of a misinformation out there that people think that the park hopper option is $75 per day. It's not.
It's just per ticket.
Per ticket for a 3-day ticket. It's $85 for a 4 and up. It's $75 for it's per ticket. It's not per day. So I just want to make sure we're really clear about that. It is an additional expense, but it's not as bad as I think some people think it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But thanks to everybody that wrote in and gave us their opinions. It does help explain it to us. We may still not agree with you, but that's okay.
I mean, I'm still getting the park hopper, but to each their own.
Yeah, but that's why there's the options, It's okay that we don't all agree. That's why people have it. So, yeah.
And I think it's why Disney has continued to add options to the tickets. So now there's the park hopper, there's the park hopper plus, there's the water park, there's all these different
options. Called Magic Your Way for a reason. You get to have it your way.
There you go. Yeah. Actually not called Magic Your Way anymore, but that's okay. They got rid of Magic Your Way, which I don't understand because it was actually a really good name for it. But anyway. All right. So let's move on to today's topic. Speaking of adding options, there's a new dining plan. So today we're going to talk just sort of a broad overview of the dining plan, what the different dining plan options are, and how to make the most of them if you do decide that it's right for your family. So let's get into it. Who wants to describe the quick service dining plan?
Well, I want to say one thing first before we do that. And that is that it's important to note that everyone in your particular room must have the exact same package. So there is none of I'm getting the dining plan, Sara is not, or something like that. Or if my kids don't eat enough to justify it, sorry. If you're getting it, they have to get it too.
Yeah.
My kid is 10, but he only wants to eat off the kids menu. Sorry.
Too bad.
That's how it is. So that being said, that's why we're going to make sure that we can see if it's right for you, justify it for you, because it may work perfectly for me, but not for my 8-year-old, or vice versa. So.
Yep. Got it. All right. So who wants to describe? Let's start with the quick service dining plan. That is the lowest sort of level of dining plan. Who wants to describe what's included in that? Don't all jump at once.
Okay, I will. So the quick service plan includes 2 quick service meals per person per night of stay. And then it includes 2 snacks per person per night of stay. That's another thing. You cannot get, if you're staying for 5 nights, your dining plan is good for 5 of each credit. Not, you can't do a 4-night dining plan. You have to do whatever night you're staying.
It's linked to the night, the number of nights you're staying.
Right.
Yeah, not to your tickets. That's a common. A lot of people think, oh, well, I have a 4-day ticket. Do I have 4 days of the dining plan? Nope. It's the nights of your hotel room.
Night of stay. Exactly. So quick service, 2 quick service meals, 2 snacks per person per night of stay. With all the dining plans, you get a refillable mug only for your resort. So that's a thing too. And by quick service, we mean counter service restaurants where you go up to a counter, you order, you sit down with your food. No waiters, no wait staff. So quick service restaurants, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean just burgers and fries either, people.
Yeah,
like,
right.
yes, there's the chicken nuggets and all like the theme park food and what you think of as fast food. But, this includes a Round World Showcase where you can get sushi and you can get falafels and so it's anything where you order yourself. It's not just fast food.
Right.
Yeah. I always like to say to clients that it's like, think of a quick service as a Panera Bread, right? Panera Breads are pretty much across the whole country, I think. You go up to a counter, you order your food, and then you bring your food to a table that you find for yourself. There's no servers per se.
Right.
So,
right.
And
as of right now, the prices for 2020 are for the quick service plan, $55 per night per adult, and child ages 10 and up. 10 and up counts as an adult. So $55 per night, $26 per night per child ages 3 to 9. So that's the prices as of today, March 4th.
Okay. Subject to change. Yes. Don't quote us on that. That's right.
Knowing Disney, it'll probably change like 3 times over the course of the year. So,
So you just said something really important that I think we should cover, which is children ages 3 to 9. What happens if you have a kid that's less than 3?
Well, Disney's explanation. Disney's explanation is that they can eat off of the grown-ups' plate. It's not necessarily what you want to do, but you absolutely can do that. Just share with them.
I think that's helpful at a buffet too, because you just kind of get them a tiny plate and pick them whatever they want. So at a buffet, cool, but at a counter service or a regular sit down, not so cool.
Right. You may want to get an extra meal, or maybe they could share. If you have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, maybe they could share one. But that's kind of individualized. But that's kind of Disney's thinking, is that anybody who's not paying for park tickets doesn't get a dining plan. So, they share off the adult's plate, according to them. But yes, if you have a 2-year-old or a 1-year-old that is going to eat a meal, then you're going to have to buy them a meal.
Yes. So you can pay out of pocket. We get this question all the time. Can I pay out of pocket? Yes, absolutely. If you want to purchase an extra side, an extra drink, an extra meal for your child who's under 2, an extra meal for your teenage son who may eat more than one meal.
Are you speaking from experience?
Not that I have one of those. But yes, you can purchase additional items and just pay out of pocket for it. So you absolutely can combine dining plan credits and a cash transaction or credit card transaction in one sale. So you can do both.
Right. And I lost my train of thought, so keep going.
So
I got it. And if you have the quick service, if you get the quick service plan and you want to eat at a character meal or another sit down meal, you can totally do that, just not using your dining plan. That's another pay out of pocket thing.
You'd pay out of pocket for it. Right. Exactly. So who do you think the quick service plan is good for? Like, who is the type of traveler, the type of vacationer that might use the quick service dining plan?
I think this is, go ahead, Sharla, sorry.
Someone who does not want to sit down every single day, and have a meal. If you just want a fast meal, go, then that's the type of plan that you probably want.
I think it's good for, like you said, somebody that's on the go, but like if you are a really type A kind of commando park touring person where, I'm only in the room to sleep and this vacation is not a relaxing vacation, you're going to see as much as you possibly can. This is a really great option for you because you now have 2 meals taken care of. They've been paid for, you have snacks, and you can pick it up and go as you please. You also have the option of mobile ordering. So as you're standing in line, you can order your food, go pick it up, eat, and be out of there in 20 minutes if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Exactly. The quick service dining plan is by far the least time consuming dining plan. You can eat when you want, no reservations required, on the go, gives you the most park time and the least amount of time eating. All right. So what are some of our favorite locations to use your quick service dining plan credits?
Columbia Harbor House, one of my favorites, at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
I really like, I can't even say all my favorites because I like almost every restaurant. The ABC Commissary, we ate there the other day. That was excellent.
It was really good,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like Cosmic Rays in the Magic Kingdom. I think you get really big portions at Cosmic Rays, and there are some meals there that sort of bang for your buck, are expensive meals that you can use. Heather,
Guys, there is a really weird noise happening in my house right now. I have no idea what it is. Like, it's a little scary, but it's
okay. All right. Well,
I thought you saw a ghost.
Good luck with
there's
that.
like this otherworldly moaning / groaning happening. I don't know what it is. I'll investigate.
Oh dear. All right. Okay. But yeah, in terms of bang for your buck, I think Cosmic Rays is a great option. A lot of the World Showcase, Sharla and I also ate at I keep changing the name of it. It used to be like Yakitori House, and now it's something else in the Japan Pavilion. But anyway, yeah, that's there are some really good options in the World Showcase as well, I think, for quick service dining. So
yeah.
And pro tip, your snack credit that comes with your quick service dining plan or any of the dining plans, it doesn't just have to be like Mickey bars and popcorn's a thing. If you want to use it for breakfast, a great use of your dining plan credit can be one of the giant muffins that they sell at the lot of the food courts. It can be, a yogurt parfait or a bagel and cream cheese, or, so you can use the snack credits that you get to sort of supplement your quick service meals as well.
Yeah, that's good to think about too.
Yeah.
And you can use snack credits at Food and Wine Festival or the other booths that are going on. So.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so next level up is what is known as the Disney Dining Plan. It's a bit of a misnomer because Disney has a lot of dining plans, but this is the basic dining plan is what I like to tell people.
Yeah.
So, all right, Heather, why don't you tell us what's included in the Disney Dining Plan?
Sure. So I think this is the most popular one. It's what most people get, but you also get that resort refillable mug that is included with the quick service plan. And you also get the 2 snacks per person per night of stay. But where it's different is that you now get 1 counter service meal and 1 table service meal, as opposed to the 2 counter services. So a table service meal is the opposite of quick, right? This is where you're going to be seated by a hostess. You're going to have a server come to your table and take your order and then clear your dishes. And then you write out your bill, you tip that server, and you get up and you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it can be either table service or a buffet. So
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the best way to get the most bang for your buck or are we not at this part yet?
That's okay.
We can go right there.
Yeah. I was going to say when I use this, I love this dining plan. So when I use this, I use 1 or 2 of my snacks for breakfast. Maybe I get like a muffin or a bagel or something from the food court at the hotel. I use my quick service for lunch and my sit down for dinner, because by the end of the day, I am exhausted and I just need an hour to and relax. And then, prices are more expensive at dinner. So this is kind of a way to further the cost of your plan and make a little extra money off of Disney.
Yeah,
exactly.
And just the prices for this for right now, $78.01 per night per adult, 10 and up.
That 01.
30.
Gotta have that penny.
Yeah, $30.51 per night per child, 3 to 9.
There's the penny again.
Yeah. So that's the prices for this year. So.
Okay. So, and the other thing that I think it's important to note is that for all of these dining plan credits, while you get the credits per night, you actually have access to all of the credits at the very beginning of your trip. So if you really wanted to go all out on the first couple days of your trip and just spend them all, you could. You have access to all of the dining plan credits right away, and you continue to have access to them until 11:59 p.m. on the day you check out. So if you have any left on that last day, even though, say, for example, you check out of the hotel that morning and then you go to a park, you still have access to your dining plan credits if you have any left. So don't leave them on the table. If you've still got snack credits left or you still got quick service credits left or whatever, make sure that you use all of them.
Right. And remember that everybody in your room shares credits. So I'm not hungry right now. I'm not going to eat this lunch, but that means it carries over for the next day. Or Sarah's super hungry. She wants 2 lunches. She can have my lunch.
Far more likely scenario, actually. Yes.
But it's just happens to be that you're all sharing them. So
they're all in one big bucket. It's
right.
just one big bucket of dining plan credits.
And go ahead. So some of the restaurants require 2 dining credits. So like Be Our Guest at dinner, Le Cellier at dinner. Some of the, especially dinner time, most of them for lunch do not, but some of them do. California Grill at dinner is going to have 2 credits. So what that means is one night, like Tuesday night, maybe you don't spend your dining plan on that. You pay out of pocket. Wednesday night, you have your big meal that costs 2 credits. So it's going to, again, carry over, and hopefully you can make it work to even out throughout the whole stay.
Yeah, I'm now looking up Be Our Guest table service credits because I didn't
It is.
remember that was 2. It's
It
signature.
is now. Yeah.
Interesting.
I ran into that last week.
Yeah. I was like, wait, it is?
Yeah, it's fairly, that's a fairly new tip.
Yeah.
Also the dinner shows like Polynesian Luau, the Spirit of Aloha dinner show and stuff like that. That's all 2 credits.
All 2 table service credits. Yes. So again, you can use 2 table service credits on one day. That would just leave you without a table service credit for another day. Or some people choose to pay out of pocket for one meal during their stay, or they pay out of pocket for the signature meal and save the table service credits for something. So again, it's a very flexible plan because it does allow you to you choose how and when you use those credits. If you're confused about how many credits you've used, at the bottom of the receipt, at every single quick service or dining plan location, it'll tell you, here's how many you've used and here's how many you have left. It's good to check on those periodically throughout the trip just to make sure that they've actually been being credited accurately, because it does happen at times that you might get double charged for something, or look, we're all human and it's Disney and the systems are
not the greatest.
glitchy under the best of circumstances. So it's good to check those receipts and just make sure. While we're on the topic of receipts, it's probably a good time to talk about the gratuities on the dining plan. So,
do we remember back in the good old days when the gratuity was included?
Oh,
and you got an appetizer and dessert, and it was $27 a person a night? Because I remember those days. They were fantastic.
I used that dining plan every single trip I took back in those days. It was fantastic.
And it used to be that it wasn't an actual dining plan. You could use it for other things. That's how on my honeymoon, had the spa credit.
Oh, way back in the day.
Yeah,
there was like the platinum plan and things.
16 years ago. Yeah.
We're dating ourselves.
I know. But yeah.
So gratuities are not included in the dining plan. So how do you pay for gratuities? You can pay cash, you can charge them to your Magic Band, or you can pay for them with a credit card at the end of your meal. And at the bottom of the receipt, it'll tell you, here's how much your meal would have cost if you were not using dining plan credits. And here's what 18% would be. Here's what 20% would be. Here's what 22% would be. One thing to keep in mind, if you are a party of 6 or more, that gratuity is been automatically calculated for you at the 18% level. That is an automatic thing. You still have to pay for it, but and you can certainly add more if your server has warranted it. But that is a given. You do not have the option not to tip for parties of 6 or more,
right? Which
hopefully you wouldn't be doing anyway.
I hope none of our listeners are not tipping.
Well, but look, the tipping is a very personal thing, and not all cultures tip, and so you never know. But it's important to note. The other thing that we should probably cover is what can you order now that we've talked about quick service and the basic dining plan. What is included in those meals? Like, what is a quick service meal? What do you get for that credit?
So the quick service meals are essentially the combo meals that you would see. So you're going to walk up to Cosmic Rays and it has, number 1 is the chicken sandwich, number 2 is the burger, whatever you see up there, it's going to be one of those combo meals. So it's your entree with a side, also a drink, whether that's a bottle of water, a fountain soda, whatever it may be. And then you also get the little dessert, whatever they have at that location, if it's a little brownie or a cookie or whatever.
So they got rid of the dessert this year. There's no more dessert on that's why there's 2 quicks. That's why there's 2 snacks now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So no more dessert on the quick service meal, but you get a side. So you get the burger plus fries or chips or fruit or whatever you want to do. Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm. And your drink. Yep.
And you get, not only do you get a soda, you also, if you would like, you can get an alcoholic beverage if you're 21 and up. So.
Yep. Yep. Or a specialty beverage if you are not, or you just prefer not to drink. So a milkshake or a smoothie or one of those specialty drinks, if they are available, is also included on the dining plan. So,
Right.
Okay. So a table service meal, same thing. It would, if it's a buffet, it's
Everything.
whatever you want.
Go crazy.
Go crazy. If it is a plated table service meal, same thing. It is your entree plus side and a beverage, either soft drink or adult beverage. No dessert still. So,
yeah. The also you can get an alcoholic or specialty beverage at breakfast. So, one tip that somebody told me, and I love it, you can go get one of those little individual bottles of, like those individual cups of wine or an individual bottle of beer or something like that. If any of those small ones individually wrapped, and just take them back to your room and put them in the fridge. So get one at breakfast, take it to your room.
Yep. You paid for it.
Yeah,
Save
you
it for later.
Might as well use it. So.
Save it for later. Yeah. Okay, great. So what are your favorite places to use? And let's just go with regular single credit table service restaurants. What are your favorites?
Oh my God, we could be here forever.
Liberty Tree Tavern. I just have to say it.
I have a new favorite that I loved, Tusker House, when we ate there the other day.
See, it's amazing.
I'm going to write a review on that.
Okay.
But I also, we ate at 1900 Park Fair for dinner the other day, and that is a new favorite. I had already loved it for breakfast. For all meals, I think 1900 Park Fair is excellent. And you get different characters at breakfast and at dinner.
Yeah, it's like a secret princess meal because people don't really get that it's Cinderella, Prince Charming, the stepmother, and the stepsisters.
They were fantastic.
They are
the best characters ever.
Yeah.
I feel like I need the fairy godmother in there though too, because she's an excellent character when you meet her in the parks.
Yeah.
Like when whoever plays her, like they're always really good. So I feel like
I would never be able to go there with my husband though, because the fairy godmother is very much in love with my husband, and she flirts with him shamelessly every single time we see her. Yeah, it's fine, totally fine. Not mad about it at all. Totally mad about it. All right, so buffets I think are a great use of a table service credit, just in terms of sort of bang for your buck. Garden Grill, I think at Epcot is Liberty Tree Tavern is another great one.
Ohana is very good.
Ohana is fantastic.
Basically anywhere that's like all you care to eat, you are getting the most money out of there.
Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like because we did not have the dining plan last week and we paid out of pocket for 2 character meals, I was like, but I feel like when you're going to do character meals, the dining plan becomes a lot more worth it at that point.
Yeah.
And it just depends on how you're going to tour. And one thing I like to tell people is you can find online the menus and prices for where you're going to eat. So if you're on the fence about adding a dining plan, go in and look up this restaurant that you're going to eat at.
I have a resource for this.
I
have a website for this.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And make, calculate it out. So
yes, there is a website. We don't know these people. I have no idea who owns this website, but it is a great website if you are a person who likes data. If you like hard numbers as to whether or not the dining plan for you, it is distriplanner.com. So distriplanner.com. You go in and you plug in exactly what restaurant you're thinking of dining at, what you think you might order, and it will tell you if the dining plan is worth it for you or not.
That's fantastic.
It's fantastic. If you're a person who likes a lot of data, if you're not a person who wants to think that far ahead about exactly what you might be ordering 6 months in advance, then it might not be for you. But if you like cold, hard numbers, it's a great website. Highly recommend it. Again, not sponsored. We have no idea who these people are, but it's a website that I have used for years and I send my clients to all of the time.
Yeah. So, that's great. Because a lot of times I'll just look at the menus and say, okay, well, this one is $20 or this one is $18. I'll probably get something in there and average it out. So you could always, fudge it a little bit to what how you think you would like to eat and plan.
What are you most likely to order? Everybody says that they're going to go to a restaurant and order something new or try something new. And then that most of the time, if they have Whatever your favorite meal is, chicken Alfredo. If there's chicken Alfredo on the menu, you know you're ordering that chicken Alfredo. Don't kid yourself. So, just use that for argument's sake. Maybe you'll go crazy and order something completely wild, but probably not. All right. So let's move on to the new dining plan, which I believe the official name is the Dining Plan Plus.
Disney Dining Plan Plus.
Okay.
Because we can't make it any more confusing for you all. So Disney Dining Plan Plus or Deluxe Dining Plan Light, as I like to think of it. If you're familiar with the Deluxe Dining Plan, this is going to be really familiar. You get that refillable mug, you get the 2 snack credits, and you get 2 meals to use however you see fit. So if you want it to be counter service, you want it to be table service, a combination of all in between. Completely up to you.
Mm-hmm.
And Sharla, what's the price for that right now?
The price on this, $94.61 per night per adult, 10 and up, $39.01 for child 3 to 9. So in comparison with the regular dining plan, $78.01 versus $94.01. So for that, extra money, if you don't sit down at both restaurants, I feel like you're wasting your money.
Yeah. Do not use this for counter service restaurants. Just don't.
Yeah. I think this is a good option for those of you who want to sit down at a restaurant for 2 meals. I mean, for lunch and dinner every day. That's the thing. You have to do it every day, or you have to be eating signature / those 2 table service meals.
Yeah.
I think this was a response by Disney to not many people anymore getting the deluxe dining plan. And they're like, well, what can we do? We have to have something in between. And so I think this was kind of like their compromise.
Yeah.
Which I think is great for people who do want more table service options, or more signature dining restaurants. Like maybe you want to be able to go to the Hoop GG Review and the Luau or Cinderella's Royal Table and California Grill. This gives you more flexibility to be able to do that. But just promise us that you won't use those table service credits for counter service meals, because otherwise you're just you're just wasting money.
Yeah.
You're allowed 1. You can go once during
I mean, none of us have done this yet because again, it is brand new, just came out last week.
While we were in Walt Disney World, it became available.
Yeah, it was rumored for like a week or 2 before, but it's official in the prices. But I mean, while we're on this same type of subject, the deluxe dining plan is one step up where you get 3 meals a day. And it's any way you want. And every client I've ever had that has used it has said there's so much food on the deluxe plan. So
I now have Journey in my head. It's all your fault.
Oh, any way you want. Yeah.
I'll be hearing that for the rest of the day, Sharla. Thanks.
If we had the rights, I would put it at the end of the show. The prices on the deluxe dining plan are $119 per night per adult, and $47.50. Oh, look, there's no 01 on that. So,
hey.
I would like to say I've also done the deluxe dining plan and thought it was a ton of food, but I am a foodie, and so I enjoyed it. Didn't eat everything, but if you are a foodie and you are going to Disney World to eat, like that's your thing and that's what you're most excited about, this is actually a really good value. It's $120, I mean, per night. You're going to eat way more than that if you're eating at all these restaurants there. So you're actually going to wind up saving yourself a lot of money with the deluxe plan. It's tons and tons of food, but you're going to get to try everything.
Yeah. I mean, to give you an example, Sharla and I had 2 different character meals last week, and they were both like 50 or $60 per person. I mean, if you think about the dining plan, being $75 a night or even $94 a night at $60 per person per meal, by the time you've eaten 2 character meals, your snacks and your alcohol and everything else is basically free.
And that's 2 character meals plus we paid out of pocket for our lunch that day or whatever,
Right,
so
exactly.
So a great way to use the deluxe plan too is if you're worried about all the food, have a big breakfast. Go to the buffet, the character meal, do whatever for breakfast. Use your snack credits for lunch. You have something because you're going to be full for a really long time after a big giant breakfast. Use your snack credits for lunch and then go and have a nice signature meal for dinner. Like go to the California Grill, go to Le Cellier, go to Tiffin's, which is way underrated. And then have, it's not quite so large of a meal, but you're using the 2 credits there. And so now you used up your 3 credits and you've gotten your money's worth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So for signature dining, so now we're going into 2 credits. This is dinner shows and signature dining restaurants. What are your favorite restaurants for two credit meals?
California Grill, always and forever. It is my favorite restaurant anywhere in the world.
Yep.
And then also Tiffin's. I love Tiffin's.
I love Tiffin's. That's.
Yeah.
I would have previously said Artist Point. I have not been there since they changed it.
R.I.P.
I think that's one of the great tragedies of the Disney dining world. It was when they converted that to the character.
Look, I think it's an adorable idea. The characters is great, but
should have been for breakfast, not for dinner.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it was one of my favorite places to go. That's, why in some ways I haven't eaten at like California Grill and all these Narcoosse's is because we always went. Yeah, we just always went to Artist Point. We loved it so much. We even had a waiter that we asked for every time. We loved it.
Yeah.
So but I really like Gico a lot. That's a good.
Oh, Gico's fantastic.
Yep. I'm going to put a plug in for the Hoop-Dee-Doo review. I think the Hoop-Dee-Doo review is a Disney classic. If you haven't seen it, you absolutely should. It is hokey in the most wonderful way possible. The food is great. And it includes wine and beer,
already
anyway. So,
I think all of the Disney dinner shows, there's only 2 now, but back even when there was the Mickey's Backyard Barbecue, we would bring my nieces and nephew all the time. All 3 are fantastic. Like, absolutely worth the money. Even the luau, which it's just hokey, like, 1970s Polynesian fun. Like, it's just really cheesy and the food's really good.
Yep, I would agree. So, I am going to say, I'm going to put it right out there. I'm going to say it. There are some restaurants that should not be signature restaurants anymore.
Le Cellier, looking at you.
Yep.
I don't think that Be Our Guest should be a 2-table service restaurant.
I don't either.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. You also shouldn't go to Be Our Guest for breakfast because it's way overpriced for what you get, but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, that's a different podcast. I actually like Be Our Guest for breakfast, but that's just
expensive.
It's very it's good food, but it's very expensive.
It's pricey for what it is. Yeah, I would agree.
I would say like Le Cellier, I used to be a huge fan. I haven't been back there in a good 7 years because I went one night on the dining plan, 2 service credit. I was there for 4 hours with the worst service and like blackened, burned steak. It was so awful that I actually spoke to the manager and they credited back all of our credits because it was just that bad of an experience.
Yeah. It is great though if you want a good steak? Yachtsman Steakhouse.
Oh, see, I don't like them either.
Oh, I love Yachtsman Steakhouse.
I feel like and it may have just been an off night, but the time that I went there, they way oversalted my food where I couldn't even eat it.
No, but I think any restaurant can.
Yeah,
maybe it's you.
I like a good steak, and no, it was.
We had a really great meal besides Heather at Flying Fish when we were there in November. That's 2.
I will have you know that I made tofu the other day and it was fantastic. And as I was cooking it, Justin walks by and he goes, "You should go work for Flying Fish." And I'm like, I should.
Yeah. Any restaurant can have an off night.
Of course.
I will say I've been to Yachtsman Steakhouse on multiple occasions, and for my money and for the steak that you get and for the variety on the menu, I think it is a much better value of your signature dining plan credits than Le Cellier is. Just going to say.
Yeah.
But there are tons of great restaurants, and that, there's something for everybody. If you love seafood, there's Flying Fish or Narcoosse's, and if you like steak, there's the Yachtsman Steakhouse or Le Cellier, and if you're vegetarian or Tiffin's is fantastic, and Gico is amazing, and so there's something for everybody. The other thing is a lot of the signature dining restaurants are located at the resorts, which is great because you don't even need park admission for those. So, by the way, you'll notice none of us have said anything about Cinderella's Royal Table. Just saying.
I've never eaten there, so I can't say anything.
I have a couple of times, and it's go to 1900 Park Fair. You're going to have a better meal the characters are the same or similar at dinner, but you're going to have Akershus. Yeah. You're going to have a better meal at other places.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
For,
Okay.
for most of the time, less dining credits.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So, okay. So that does it. We've covered the quick service dining plan. I'll get to you in a second. The Disney dining plan, the Disney dining plan plus, and the deluxe dining plan. What's up, Heather?
I have a hot take. So
All right.
we're talking about how to get the most money out of the dining plan and all this, and I think that's one way of looking at it. But what I also like to factor in is the flexibility this allows, and it lets you go on vacation and relax. So, you can do that where you're nickeling and diming and figuring out, am I saving money? Oh, I'm only going to save $10. I'm not saving this. Or you're going to pay for your meals no matter what at Disney. You can choose to pay for them when you're there, or you can include a dining plan and pay for them up front. For me, the reason I like a dining plan is a lot of times it does save me money, but mostly it lets me relax on vacation.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about how much I'm spending. If I want the $20 chicken or the $50 steak, it is included on the dining plan. I don't have to stress myself out about how much I may have budgeted or what's in my bank account. Can I afford to eat at this restaurant or not? It just has all been paid for, and I can now go on vacation and relax. And to me, that is the biggest value of the dining plan. It lets you relax.
Yep.
I would have liked to, instead of this new dining plan plus, I would have liked to have seen them do one sit down meal and 2 quick service meals per day or per night stay. That's what I would like to see. But
interesting. Okay.
They didn't ask me. So.
Well, if nobody buys this one, maybe that's what they'll try next.
Yeah, that'll be next. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. I think the dining plan is good for a lot of different travelers for a lot of different reasons. And some people love sort of gaming the system and trying to see can they really make money on it. And I'm not that person. I'm not data driven. I'm like Heather. I like the convenience and the flexibility. It's a more all-inclusive experience. So I like not having to worry when I'm on vacation. I like not having to pull my wallet out constantly. I like not having to think that much about, how much I'm spending.
It's all been taken care of. When you go to an all-inclusive resort, you're not drinking that $1,200 worth of alcohol that is what they probably charged you for the all-inclusive plan, but you go because you don't have to think about it. If you want that glass of wine, you want that Mai Tai, it's been paid for, so I'm going to go get it. And that's why I love the dining plan.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I will say the dining plan is not for everyone. I have a lot of clients who don't opt for the dining plan for a variety of reasons. They're not food focused. It's just not a priority for them on the vacation, and that's completely fine. I have some people who have such severe food allergies that they're just not, they know they're not going to get their money's worth because they're so limited, or maybe they've had gastric bypass, or they have some other, issue where they're just not going to be consuming a lot of food. And that's totally fine. I have clients whose kids are super picky eaters or really just light eaters. If you're a super light eater, this might not be the best value for you.
My mom would never get a dining. She eats 1 meal a day, and I don't know how she survives. But she's never going to get the dining plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom too. My mom always says, if I could just take a pill every day that would fulfill all my nutritional needs, I would do that.
I know. My mom comes and she's like, you want to eat again? I'm like, it's been 5 hours. Yeah. I'm starving. Yes.
Some of us need to survive. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so hungry. I haven't had lunch. It's 2:30.
I made that mistake when we were recording yesterday, and I almost passed out. So I had lunch at 11:30 today, just to be sure. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So that's it. So the dining plan, it might be for you. It might not be for you. Hopefully this has provided a little information for you, to help you make a more informed decision. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right? Using the information that you're given and figuring out if it works for your family. If the dining plan works for you, fantastic. If it doesn't, great. It's, the dining plan is one of those things I will defend Park Hopper to the death. The dining plan, I don't care. Whatever works for you is what works for you. It's great. If it works, wonderful.
We've talked a little bit before and blogs a little bit before about free dining, and I feel like we have to mention it.
Oh, I don't want to die.
No, look.
Did you see us both roll our eyes at you?
Yes, I did. But
I was
dining,
so close to making it out of
sorry.
this podcast without those words.
free dining is something that guests love for some reason, and
Because
travel
everybody
agents,
loves
free
the
in it.
word.
yeah,
That's
people in the
free in
call
it.
center hate it. It is
Yeah.
not always the best deal, even if you can get it. So you really need to look at the numbers. It is not the best deal a lot
I
of the
just
time.
had clients asking about it for a trip this July.
Yeah.
They have the kids free dining, but whatever the technical name is. But technically,
Yeah.
if you get the dining plan, any one of them, the adults pay for it, the kids get it free. And I looked, and it was $1,700 more expensive than the room discount that was there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
this
that's
is
at a value resort.
Yeah.
So usually it's the
It was
deluxe
at a value
resorts that
resort.
are, yeah, usually there's the deluxe resorts that are the better room discount. But if at a value resort, it's just not. So please don't go into a trip in the late summer, early fall thinking you're going to get free dining, number one. Number two, thinking it's the best deal. And number three, thinking it's that really a good deal at all. It just may not be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please don't email your travel planner and insist that instead of the room discount, you really want the free dining plan, because I promise you that we have done the math both ways. And I promise you we are giving you the deal that actually saves you more money. But it is very difficult at times for people to wrap their heads, because it's got the word free in it. It must be the best deal.
Yeah.
That is not
No.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. I had somebody insist on paying like $600 more for free dining.
I have had the same situation.
It's free. I'm like,
because
but you
they-
realize
yeah.
you're paying more money. Yeah, it's free dining.
It's free dining.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know? Okay.
Yeah.
But I think what you said, Sharla, too, and I think we should reiterate that, is don't assume that free dining will happen, because it happened last year, it happened 4 years ago or 10 years ago when you were there. Don't assume. You plan the best trip that you can for your travel style and your budget right now.
Yep.
If any discount of any kind comes out that works with your particular reservation, not this broad set of dates that Disney has released, but your reservation, then you can get it applied, and it's pixie dust. And yay, you've saved some money, but don't assume that that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've done entire blogs about this, and we've talked about it on previous podcasts and everything. So
Yeah.
Just don't assume, and don't
Sorry.
make me cry.
I had
Yeah.
to mention it. Had
that's
to.
fine. But anyway, so all right. That does it for this week's podcast. We will be back next week, and Sharla is going to tell us all about her Disney cruise and anything new that she got to do and what she learned, and what is it like to sail on the different ships, because you've done a couple of them this year alone. So yeah, and probably more to come.
Wow.
So
Obviously.
So we will be back next week. In the meantime, we have a new YouTube video that is up. So please check out our YouTube video on Disney's Boardwalk Inn. They're laughing at me because I'm very proud of it. I've worked very, very hard on it, and I figured out a lot of new things, and we're learning this YouTube thing. It is totally new to us, but I figured out how to put our theme music in the video, and I'm
so
very
happy.
excited about that. So check that out. That's on our YouTube channel, which is YouTube/C/Disney Park Princess. Follow us on Instagram. Check out our blog at DisneyParkPrincess.com. Join our Facebook groups. We're having a lot of fun in our Facebook groups. And like I said, people are making friends, and they're going on rides together. And there's there's all kinds of stuff going on in there. So be sure to join in on the fun. And for our Patreon extra, we're going to be learning a little bit more about what Sharla has planned for this coming cruise. So she's going to tell us a little bit about it. This is a family vacation for her. This is not a working trip. Although I'm sure a little work will occur, because that's the reality of our lives. So stay tuned.
I'm taking the recorder stand that we have to record some videos. So
It is called an Osmo.
I know that, but not everybody knows that.
Yes, Sharla has all of the equipment. So stay tuned for that. If you are a Patreon supporter, if you're not a Patreon supporter, we would love you to be. That's sort of how we keep this little dog and pony show going. You can go to patreon.com/Disney Park Princess. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.